Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I am doing a collaboration with a bunch of teacher tubers and it is called I Was That Kid. This tag was created by Taylor from Teach Me Something Good. If you have not subscribed, she is down below. Subscribe to her. She deserves more subs. She's one of my favorites and she's very local to me and I need to meet her eventually. I really enjoy her channel personally. I watch it often. I really adore her and she teaches 3rd grade. Go ahead and give her a follow. After you have finished watching my video, be sure to continue to follow the other teacher tubers to see what kind of kid they were when they were in school. And I'm sure it may shock you, some of the answers. Real quick disclaimer, my eyelashes are probably really intense because they are intense. I tried something new. This is at Marshall's, Ardell Magnetic Eyeliner Lashes. Thought this would be a good idea. No, I really don't like it. It's not very appealing on my eye. So don't get this if you see it at Marshall's. Waste of $12. And let's jump into the questions. I think it's a good idea to answer these questions in my perspective and in my fiance's perspective because he has taught me a lot. We were two very extremely different kids in school. I'm gonna do both perspectives. The type of student I was in school was I was very obedient. I was afraid of answering questions. I was afraid of getting in trouble and I was afraid of my teachers. I was afraid of all my teachers in elementary school. I was afraid to talk to them. I was afraid to ask questions. And I guess reflecting on why I was so afraid is, I just added more lighting. So I guess the reason I was so afraid of talking to my teachers is they were kind of mean. I mean, not mean, but like, not nice either, if I'm being quite honest. I always felt left out because I was so quiet. I was that kid. My fiance, on the other hand, was the kid that repeatedly got in trouble for talking and repeatedly was sent to the principal's office and was suspended multiple times. And he was that kid because he didn't really have a teacher that resonated with him. So he was the troublemaker kid. And I always tell him like, oh, you were that student. I have some of you. So he really just gives me the patience to do better with the kids that I have that resemble him in school. Question number 2, reflect and discuss why you think that was. So I kind of went into that. I was quiet and I wanted to be kind of like on the outskirts of everything because I didn't really like attention on me and I wasn't like the A+ students. I was the middle ground student. I wasn't the smartest in class, but I was really well behaved. I always got student of the month. I was just quiet and afraid of my teachers. I felt like they didn't have patience and I didn't want to be a bother to them and asking them questions. And I kind of answered that for my fiance. He just didn't like school because we grew up in the same town, but he went to extremely different school. He went to the same school from kindergarten to 8th grade in the middle of like the countryside. He grew up with the same kids, like there wasn't much diversity and he was definitely the black sheep. And he just didn't like school and all the teachers just, I'm quoting his words because we've talked about this many times, but kind of had a very short fuse with him because he talked a lot and fidgeted a lot and was that student. Question number 3, do you have any kids in your class that are that kid as well? I definitely have some that resemble me. I know how they feel, so I'm very understanding. I really didn't like participating in class. So different in college. I love participating in college, but in elementary school, I was just very shy. So I understand my students who are like that, and that's fine with me. And I want them to know that I'm like a safe person. I'm not like mean, and they can ask me things if they need help, you know? As regards to my fiance, yes, I do. Yes, I do. And it's so funny because that student resembles like my fiance in so many ways with the behavior, and if anything, I'm more understanding. And I tell my student, my fiance was just like you. I understand. So we got a bond over that. When I told my student that, little eyes changed and I think it helped them. I think it helped them kind of relate that it's okay and just, and I'm not against him. I tell my students that, you know, so hope that made sense. Question number 4, after reflecting on your childhood and behaviors in school, does this help you feel like you understand those kids a little better? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. More so because of my fiance, because he got in trouble all the time. And he said one time he was sitting in his chair and paper fell and he went to like you know, just imagine this, lean in his chair to grab the piece of paper. So he's like this in the chair to get a piece of paper, and his teacher saw him and sent him to the principal, and he got a phone call home, and he didn't understand. He thought that was like absurd that that happened to him. And I mean, reflecting on that, like that is a little excessive, but I'm sure it was a buildup of things, you know. Teaching is hard. So I just try to be more understanding to those students who need to talk a lot, who need to move a lot. I just try really hard to just, it's gonna be fine. It's fine if they're not sitting in a chair, it doesn't really matter, as long as they're learning. Question number 5, piece of advice that could help a teacher better understand that kid. For me, because I was so shy and afraid, I would say just be very opening, and I would say definitely try to make conversation with your students that are quiet. Ask them questions. I like to go on a walk with my students called Nature Walk, and that's when I like to communicate with a lot of my students and speak to them and, you know, ask them questions. How was their weekend? How was this? I think if a teacher actually like wanted to get to know me as a student, that would have been different, but I never had that in elementary school. But that's one of the reasons why I'm a teacher. I want to be a teacher that I never had, and I'm being dead honest. I've never had like a teacher that impacted me. I had a college professor that impacted me, but not a elementary school teacher. A piece of advice for teachers that have a student like my fiance. I would just say understand that they're not trying to get on your nerves. Understand that they don't mean to talk so much, and they don't mean to like not pay attention. It's just how their brain works. Try your best to differentiate for them. If they do better standing up, let them stand. Allow them to have that class job where they pass out papers, just so they can get their bodies moving. Allow them to help in class and give them a class job. And just be understanding and get to know them. My fiance never had a teacher that got to know him. And I think if they did get to know him, they would have been a lot more understanding, because, I mean, doesn't everyone have some baggage? My fiance had baggage as a child, and I think if teachers got to know that, they would have been more understanding and not so fast to call parents and not so fast to send up to the principal, you know? That's just my own opinion. And that's what I try to do. So thank you, fiance. You've really taught me a lot. Like, my fiance literally dislikes school a lot, and I'm just like, all right, you guys, so I hope you like this video. Sorry about the light changing. It just looks so much better like this. I will catch you guys in my next video. I like to put my vlogs up on Saturdays, so my next vlog will be up on Saturday. Be sure to subscribe if you have not already for future videos, and shout out to Taylor for creating this awesome challenge, because this is just so impactful, and I love deep thinking like this, and, you know, reflecting on what kind of teacher I am to my different groups of students. So thank you, Taylor, for literally like opening up a layer of myself and like pulling out some things that made me think differently. I hope this video helped you. I'll catch you guys in my next video, and bye. Look at that dog bagel.